Hey everyone, my name is Ricky and this is Cash Meets Credit. In today's video, we'll be talking about a plan that will change your life if you're struggling with money. And so first, I just want to ask, what are some of the goals and dreams that you have for your future? I know for me, I want to be able to travel more. I want to own a nice home in a nice area. So what does that look like for you? And I actually want you to think about this. Take a few moments if you need to. And if you have a few things, then how many of those require money that you don't yet currently have? And that's the thing, is that a lot of the things that we desire in life cost money. And now, if you had all the money that you needed, would you be living out these goals and dreams? And I hope that's a yes. I know for me, definitely, I would be traveling, I would own a nice home. So if it is a yes for you, now I want to look at one thing, is that why do people not have money? Okay, and I want to acknowledge that there are people who struggle with getting a good job. They're not making a lot of money or providing for a lot of people, so it's just hard to keep up. But I want to look at three specific things. First is that people don't have a clear plan with their money. Second is that people value instant gratification. And third is that we don't want to sacrifice. People don't like to sacrifice because it's uncomfortable. And so first, I want to look at people not having a plan with their money. And that's exactly what a budget is. And that's what I want to focus on, the importance of budgeting. And so a budget really is to help you get out of debt and save more money. And I saw this quote in Dave Ramsey's book, The Total Money Makeover. It's by John Maxwell. And it says, a budget is telling your money where to go instead of wondering where it went. And so that really resonated for me. I want you to maybe think about that for a moment. A budget is telling your money where to go instead of wondering where it went. Right? A few years ago, I was younger. I was in debt. And so it was only $1,500, but it seemed like a lot to me at the time. And I had no idea where all my money was going. There's just life and you're buying multiple things. And I just felt like I didn't have any money. I couldn't pay off debt. In my mind, I thought I can only pay $40 a month, the minimum payment, towards my debt. And there was someone close to me that I knew who loaned me $1,500 because they didn't want me to pay interest on the credit cards, the high interest rate. And so I paid off the debt completely with that money they gave me. And then they helped get me on a plan, a budget to pay them back, no interest, just because they wanted to help me be better with my money. And so right when I started that budget, I went from thinking I could only pay $40 a month to paying all $1,500 back in just about 4 months. And so without the help, let's say the $40, 4 months, right, I would have only paid $160 of debt. But I paid $1,500 in 4 months. You really need a plan to get out of debt and to start saving money. You can't just spend aimlessly, you can't save aimlessly. You need a goal in place. Okay, and so a budget is really tracking your spending, finding unhealthy spending patterns, creating a limit for yourself in certain areas, and so you're able to start saving more, start paying off debt. And so all that sounds easy. Yeah, I just need to track my spending, and then I'll be able to limit it and get out of debt, start saving more money. But why is it so hard still? And that leads me to my next point, is that people value instant gratification. And what I mean by that is that we're impulse buyers. We see things that we want and we want to buy them then. Kind of that mentality is that I want this and I want it now, right? People like to keep up with trends, keep up with culture, and especially with American culture, right? People do promote, buying things they don't have money for, right? Always having the shiny new things, having a nice car that you don't have money for. And that's just the way it is. And so it gets in a dangerous mindset to where people justify buying something they don't have the money for. It's easier to do that rather than to save money and then, make the purchase when you have enough, right? And it's a little disturbing that that's the case. It's really dangerous when you start getting into that because, sure, maybe it's not one huge purchase that you're making that's getting you thousands in debt, but it's an accumulation of small purchases. And so when you get to the point you're starting to justify buying things you don't have the money for, small purchases, the more you do that, the easier it becomes. And so you're able to make those purchases left and right. And that's when you start accumulating that debt. And so another thing is that people value the wrong things, where hanging out with friends multiple times a week is more important than investing in your retirement account. And that leads me to my third point, and that is that people don't like sacrificing because it's uncomfortable, you know? It's the same thing though, retirement with your retirement account is that people intentionally set aside money right now. They don't spend it on entertainment or whatever because they're investing into their future, knowing they're gonna wanna retire one day and have money to live off of. That's the same thing with your goals and dreams, is you have to intentionally stop doing certain things that's costing you a lot of money so you could save for your goals and dreams. Or else you're gonna be some grumpy person who wants to do all these things, but you just don't have the money to, okay? And sacrificing really is just taking something you value and giving it up for something that you value more. When it comes to your goals and dreams, you're never gonna reach them unless you find that thing that you do value more than what you're currently doing. So I wanna give an example. Let's say you go out with friends 3 times a week and you wanna buy a laptop that costs $1,200. So you plan in your mind, okay, I could save $100 a month and in 1 year, I'll have the laptop. Okay, and now let's say that you go out with your friends, right? And you're spending around $25. You know, you get food and you get a drink and you pay for tip, $25. And if you go out one less time a week, then you're saving $25 extra a week, $100 a month. You add that $100 onto your savings for the laptop, you get the laptop in 6 months instead of 1 full year. So is that worth it for you? All right, and you have to make that decision. You have to think of some of those things that you could do to save money. So if right now, you know, you're struggling with money, you're living paycheck to paycheck, and you just, you know, really don't have a plan, then I am challenging you right now that I want you to get, you know, pen and paper. You probably don't have pen and paper around, so, you know, get your iPhone out and go to your notes. I want you to really think of a goal. Think of a goal that you have in your near future financially, right? And so whether it is getting that laptop or saving for a trip in 8 months, I want you to think of something and think of a dollar amount that you need for that goal. Okay, something realistic. You don't want to, you know, say $100 saved in 6 months, right? That's too easy. You want it to actually be a challenge for you. So let's say, you know, saving $1,200 in 6 months, maybe, right? That might be what it looks like for you. But I want you to write down that goal, all right? I want you to write down that money amount that you want to have by X date. Now, most people use, you know, a credit card or a debit card for a lot of their purchases. And so what I want you to do is go through, you know, whatever card you use the most, go through the statement of the past 2 months of that card. And I want you to find areas that you're overspending in. For me, it was, you know, a lot of food. So look at that number. If you use cash, that's awesome. But still, think of ways where you're overspending. And I want you to limit that number, right? Actually count up the amount of money you spent in one paycheck maybe. And I want you to limit that by 20%, 25% maybe. And then see if that allows your goal to be realistic for you to save this amount in X amount of time. I really want you to do that. At least do it for 1 or 2 paychecks. You don't have to do it for the full 6 months or something like that. But I want you to have small victories. I want you to be able to, you know, do it for 1 paycheck, limit yourself, and actually save that money. You have that victory knowing it is possible. And these are all small things. It's not this big plan where you're able to just get money super fast, just investing whatever, you're able to just be a millionaire. This is a simple plan to help you be better with money. And that's the big thing, is that you're using that and your income as a tool to be better with money in life. I want you to write down a goal, write down the money that you need to reach that goal and the amount of time given. Limit yourself in certain areas and then just live that out for the next couple weeks. Save that money, and then even past that, keep going. I want you to reach your goals. Save as much money as you can. Get out of debt as soon as you can. I hope this video brought you a lot of value. If it did, then please like it, subscribe to the channel. I'll be talking about credit cards, some of the benefits and traveling for free, all that stuff, as well as money management, because it's so important that you're able to manage your money well. And so I would recommend that you start a budget today and really hope that you're better with your money. So thank you again for watching. I really appreciate it, and I hope you have a nice night. Thanks.